Serious note. So what are you wearing? Because I'm not good with this. This is champs or something like that.
What you say now?
What are you rocking here?
Oh, yeah, this is a champion outfit.
Okay. I
Yeah,
see you over there. And what's your hat say? Let me see.
Blue Jays.
Okay, the Blue Jays. You over there repping today. Stop playing.
Major, nothing major.
Yeah, I know probably a lot of people not gonna be on today because everybody getting ready for the Super Bowl.
Super
They buying a lot of stuff they're not supposed to be eating.
Facts. I already know that the stores been crazy. I've been seeing people flying in and out the stores.
I'm telling you, and you know it's real packed. Well, it's not packed anymore. It's pretty quiet now in my neighborhood. I don't see nobody really moving around, but everybody's pulling up to everybody's house.
Exactly.
Ready.
And,
So,
and and that used to be me. I
yeah,
That used to be me. I can't lie.
look, that's about to be me today. I'm still on the path, sir. I am working on thyself. Okay, like I said, behind the scenes, I might dip a wing in some ranch, just a little bit, but just like
Yeah.
one or two. I feel like, ain't no feel. I know for sure what I noticed with my body. I can't even eat as much meat as I used to. Like back in the day, I don't know if you used to do it, but I used to down like an 8 piece easy.
Yeah.
Bone in, I'm talking about Wingstop. Shout out to Wingstop. But I do not eat Wingstop that much. And I might do a 6 piece and I'll be completely full. What's up with that?
I used to love Wingstop. But one thing about Wingstop, they too greasy. But that's just your body letting you know, like, you can't continue this. Your body always let you know what's going on. So
Right.
a lot of things that you used to can do, you can't do no more. Um,
Mhm.
and it's just good that the body has its own awareness because sometimes we wouldn't listen and we still have issues and we still don't listen.
That's
Um,
facts.
time. So
You're not lying because another thing I noticed that when some people eat too much meat, they get constipated. And
oh,
they're not paying attention to the flow of that. It's like, oh, I ate a whole lot of meat this week. Now I can't. It's been like 2 or 3 days. I can't go. Versus you last week. You ate vegetables and fruits, and everything was consistent.
right. And that's gonna happen because you're not designed to be consuming meat. So there's no way around it. That's why I put together a 21-day protocol because I noticed that everybody got chronic bowel problems and kidney problems. So, and that's one of the things I wanted to address with this protocol. Look at everybody died though. The GI tract is totally messed up, and it has to be with the way we consume foods.
That's a very good point, a solid point. And a lot of us hold our stress. I think most humans do hold their stress in their gut. We don't think about that too. So you talking about bad food, your stress. That's the nervous system, right? Getting disrupted. It's a lot.
It's a lot. And then, most people, what I see is the majority of people eat off of what they think. Nobody eats thinking about their self. You see what I'm saying? It's like we eating off our feelings. Like today, I feel like I want a cheeseburger or
Ah, emotional eating. You talking about?
wings. Oh, Friday, I'm gonna make some fish. That's how everybody is eating. And you can just go on social media and just look. You'll see one person post they made tacos, and you keep on scrolling. You'll see
Mhm.
somebody else they made tacos, and it's like trending all over the world. This cycle of repetition that we are in when it comes to eating,
Mhm.
and everybody is dealing
Right.
with health. They're becoming more and more relevant. Younger people, um, and we in trouble. Like we are really in trouble.
Yeah, like I noticed that too. A lot of young and old, but most and like it's really scary when you see the young ones are passing out due to situations that are happening to the body. That in some cases we could probably control that. You
Well,
know.
uh, and the thing, the even more, the words get even scarier. It is, yes, it's happening in younger people, but we got to worry about our grandchildren. We got to worry about our nieces, our nephews, like because they
Yeah.
are the downline. And with every generation, we getting weaker cells because the mom, the dad, they wasn't eating right, wasn't drinking right. So now the
Mhm.
kids are getting weaker immune systems. So they're dealing with things at a younger age versus those
Yeah.
older because they
Like we're
come.
developing autoimmune diseases out of nowhere.
Well, listen, when you don't know what's going on, you just call it autoimmune. That's what I see. So, but the big picture of it is it's just an acidic sky that everybody's living up under. You know,
I like the way you put that.
I mean, you got they cutting down trees everywhere. They putting up more buildings. So
Right.
your air, you see planes all the time constantly in the air. We don't know what they spraying in the air.
Listen, hold up. Can we pause right there? Because I promise you, legit. Like I was looking outside the other day, and this was recently. It was like lines going like this in the sky, and within that same week, I had sinus issues. I
Mm-hmm.
never have sinus issues. I'm
Listen,
still battling it right now. And I was asking some people the other day when I was out, I said, hey, I said, look, and it was random. It was a random thought because I'm tripping. Like, why do I have something that feels like a sinus infection? I've never had this day in my life. But until I saw that in the air and I was like thinking like I was just planes went by or something like that. They were like, no, I'm dealing with the same thing. Eyes itching, nose running, eyes watering. Like, what's going on?
listen, we don't know what's going on. Not only our air, our quality of air is not like it should be, especially when you get into the cities where it's just shoulder to shoulder and buildings and house to house. And I mean, we need more trees, not more buildings. You see what I'm saying? Then we got to worry about our water supply. So
Right.
what's going on with our water? We don't know what we're
Then
drinking.
we not, yeah. Well, can we pause on that one too, though? Because you hitting some real live gems, like when people on medications, prescriptions, and things like that, they're flushing that down the toilet. With what I'm saying, they driving on the floor, sweeping up, putting the trash that's going to the garbage bin, that's going somewhere. Everything, medicines, liquid medicines, pills, all that stuff going down the drain. Toxic chemicals, you clean your house up real good. The bleach, the Comet. Remember Comet?
I do.
Come here. All the other stuff, all the cleaning agents going right down the sink or the toilet.
I did I did a water. It's a company. I think it's called EIWG, but you can go on there and put your zip code in there, and they will tell you what's in your water supply.
Wow.
I checked the water supply. I found that there was over 12 to 20 something harmful chemicals,
Contaminants. Yeah.
and
Yeah.
so many of them cause health issues that are serious.
Critical health issues, right? Yes. Yeah.
And
I know what you're saying.
absorbing this water in constantly. See what I'm saying? You brushing your teeth, you're taking showers, you're washing your face. So you got the sky, what's going on in the sky? You got the water that's kept running in your house that you're using to bathe in and do everything else. You're doing this same stuff with your children. So it's like I'm telling you, we're in trouble. We got the food. If you're not growing the food yourself, you don't really know what you're getting. Plus, even if you're buying organic, you still got to worry about pesticides because that's all.
Yes. And then have you been seeing what's been happening to the farmers though? You saw what happened to that black farmer in Colorado? They trying to buy his land and they've been overstepping the boundaries on his property and everything, trying to force him out of there.
Now, I haven't seen that, but I'm not surprised because there's been two. They're seen a financial way of making it that already done sold out. So now the mass majority is already bought up. So if the majority is already gone and you starting to stand over here by yourself, then ain't nobody standing with you. So
Exactly,
that's
man.
the time. That's just what happened with all of the mom and pops. That's why the little small stores that everybody used to go to, they all out of business because
Mm-hmm.
everybody wanted to go to another store. Now the other store is the superstore, and now we're
Yeah.
in the little store that we always had.
Facts. And you know what? Shout out to everybody that's black right now. Happy Black History Month. I gotta say that. But also shout out to all my farmers, no matter what shade of brown or white you are, because we appreciate you for growing our fruits and vegetables. Because I'm serious. Like we are in a time where, thank you, April, for joining in. We're in a time where it's critical that we try to get control over everything that we consume, anything we put on our bodies. Like you dropped a lot of raw facts just now. We can't control what's in the air unless we pilots, but we can control the type of water that we consume, and we can buy water that is at its pure as it can get. We can do our research and do that. We can also buy filtration systems for our homes, like we did, like we bathed in filtrated water because we didn't know until about 6 years ago what you were talking about. We never thought about it, right? Until we got that presentation brought to our home, and he tested our water right in front of us. And man, have
Yeah,
you ever? Have you ever went to the spa and got a foot detox?
I haven't. I
But if
haven't.
you do it, you'll see what I mean. I've done it before a few times. And over time, you know, all of the different chemicals in your body and toxins in your body starts bubbling up out the water. It turns brown. Sometimes it turns green or purple. It just depends on what you got inside of you. Same thing with your water. And like you said, we putting it inside of us and not thinking about it. Parasites, bacteria.
Most definitely. And then and we also create a certain terrain within our bodies with how we eat that parasites like. So we provide the
Giving
environment
them parasites food, right?
for them to thrive in.
Crazy. But I guarantee you, Mr. Holistic, nobody's thinking about it like that because number one, it's not taught to us. It's not even in our homes. It's
Right.
not taught to us in school. We just out here living.
That's exactly what we're doing. And you know, it's just if it wasn't for the fact that I had been chosen, I was chosen to do this, I wouldn't even be as aware of these things that I are. You know that I am. Because I'm no more intelligent than the next person. But something caused me to put my attention.
I beg to differ. Cause
But
baby, that gumbo healing soup, I don't even know what was in that. Okay. I told my daughter, I said, look like he just went outside in the backyard and he gathered some herbs and some leaves and put it in some water. So I beg to differ on that. You are intelligent in your area for sure. Teach us the way.
listen, that I had a friend of mine really worried about a friend of hers, and she contacted me that her friend is in real bad trouble. So once I got in touch with the friend and we had a conversation, I was thinking like, wow, okay. And I found out what everything that's going on. So I was like, so I see what's needed. So seeing what's needed led me to put that gumbo together. And
Love it.
within a week or so, she was already improving. You know what I'm saying? So, the herbs are for the healing of the nation. You know
Mm-hmm.
what I'm saying? We just got to learn more about the herbs. We got to
Absolutely.
quit thinking that somebody else has what we need, and we got to look. We got to start looking for our help. Just because I ain't got on no white jacket and no plaque on my door with my name, that don't mean nothing. Because I
No,
believe that.
listen, I call Mr. Holistic my favorite herbalist, holistic guy. Like he's the source. Like you don't have to have, you know, that's something that I have had to really acknowledge. You don't have to have a degree to be a specialist in your area. When God anoints you to do something, you just follow suit and do it. You'll know it's for you because all the information, all the resources and the material will just be there for you.
Right.
And case in point to your journey from what I observe is that how old is your grandma? How old did your grandma just turn?
My grandma just turned 99.
Good genes. Look at
Yeah.
that. Good genes.
And you know, I was talking to her a while back, and I was telling her like, yeah, I was like, drink this right here, Big Mom. And she was like, what's this right here? And I started telling her stuff, and she was like, yeah, we used to get that grow right on the side of the road, like,
Yep.
and like, okay, Big Mom. So you know what I'm saying? It's that's something that she already had been through, practiced, you know. So it's like it's just in the blood. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. You was appointed to do this, so you don't need a plaque. You don't need a degree or certification. None of that, because you are certified. What you're doing, you're educating all of us, and I'm appreciative that I saw you that one day, and I was like, man. For those who don't know, Mr. Holistic is not a stranger to the Sisters Talk podcast. You've been on the show before. I was
Yeah.
blown away, and I still am. Like I said, I came back. This dude making gumbo healing soup. That's what I'm talking about. Like it just keeps getting better and better. Which
Yeah.
brings me into my first question for you. How did you get started in this wellness journey? I know you have a story.
Well, I always I always was self-conscious about my health, you know what I'm saying? Even though I did everything that everybody else do, but there was always something inside of me. Certain things always sparked my interest. So I was always, when I was young, in and out the health store, getting little things. I was always reading. I switched from buying regular eggs to doing egg whites. I switched from regular bread to wheat bread. All those things they said was good. I went down that road. And so I've always been dibbling and dabbling in that. But I became consumed with it. And with my consumption, it led me to a whole new journey, a whole new place where things just really opened up before my eyes. Like, and I in the past dealt with different issues myself, things that they said I would always be dealing with, I would always be having to take something for, and I walked myself out of there with no help from them. You know what I'm saying? But that was just through knowledge. You know what I'm saying? And being connected with the right people. There's a lot of people out here that teach health and wellness. You know what I'm saying? From a naturopath perspective. I got a good friend, Bill Button, and you see a lot of my mushrooms, and he is the one that provides all those mushrooms for me. That guy's very talented. I also did 2 years Master Herbalist School. Shout out to reflectionshealing.com. So you just it's eagles fly with eagles. So whatever you want to be, whatever you looking for, you got to get with the people that's doing those type of things.
Agreed.
Iron sharpens iron.
Mm-hmm. Man, I'm trying to get up with you with the person with the mushrooms now.
Oh yeah, most definitely. The mushrooms are amazing. They are amazing. And
that's amazing. Cause listen, I used to always tell my friends, I'd be like, man, if we go off the grid for some reason, I better not touch a mushroom in wildlife. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm gonna be over there.
Listen, I've even started going out myself looking and checking for mushroom, because not only are they edible, but I mean the nutrition value in them when it comes to issues that you might be dealing with. They've been using them for centuries.
Yeah.
For centuries. So it's nothing new under the sun. We just been.
But how did we lose it though? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, our culture is from this, and somehow we just
most definitely. When we was in school, we studied like different cultures and what they practiced, and we found that our culture was the lowest of practicing natural medicine. So as long as people think that they can go somewhere, but what I've encountered with our culture, with our people, is everybody want a quick fix.
Right.
See what I'm saying? So if you got a situation going on, and you got to understand the situation you got in, you didn't get in overnight. And in the same way you got in this situation, the same way you get out of it. You're not in it overnight, you're not going to get out of it overnight. And you got to walk right out of it the same way you walk right in it.
So discipline, right?
Discipline. We faced with a problem, and the biggest problem is right under people's noses, but they overlooking it. I see people walking around with face coverings on, and they won't even take it off, worry about everything, but then they walking in the Wendy's. And then they're walking in Texas Roadhouse and Pizza Hut. Like, seriously, you would be better off. I mean,
make it make sense. No, I'm laughing because that's some real logic right there. But you got to understand, a lot of people ain't operating off of logic, and that's the reason why we're in this situation right now. Yeah, that's wild. That was you worried about what you breathing in, not worried about what you consuming. Wow, that's funny and true.
Consume you.
And the thing is, you are what you eat.
You are.
Like literally. And I'm gonna tell you something else that we, myself included, we forget about. Like when you looking at that fine, crispy piece of chicken laying on your plate with some green beans, mashed potatoes with the brown gravy or white, your choice. You know what I'm saying? With candy yams and everything else you load your plate up with, you thinking about how it tastes. You're not thinking about how much grease was used to fry that nice brown piece of chicken, all that seasoning. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, that's where I come from, right? So I know all about that, and I was a chicken lover. But that's another reason why we got so many problems, because everything you name is how we want it, and there is improper food combinations. So that's why so many people are dealing with GI tract problems. They're not mixing foods properly. That does not go together. That's why so many people have mucoid plaque covering their GI tract. So many people dealing with malabsorption. They're not able to get nutrients in. I done dealt with people that could have a headache and take something for it and never work. Then, after dealing with me for a little while, put them through a little protocol, it's like things start opening up and things start back working. People
Right.
they're not getting nutrients. They don't
So
know.
what you're saying is because we're dumping so much junk in the body, we're blocking it. Not just constipation wise, we saying on a cellular level, it's not even we're not allowing our bodies to even
Exactly, because
absorb the nutrients through the cells.
yeah, because we absorb all our nutrients in our small intestines.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody's GI tract is messed up. So you can't absorb. Look what you done did to it. You
Right.
once you start getting a buildup of mucoid plaque, you got to get that out.
Mm.
You got to
Let
get.
me tell y'all something. This sister right here dealt with a situation like that not too long ago. Look, I'm not even embarrassed. Let me tell you. My daughter called herself making some chocolate chip cookies from scratch and put too much or something in it. I can't tell you which ingredient it was, but sister was blocked out. Okay, I was blocked. All right, I was blocked. But what I did, I was making myself hot tea. Well, I did ginger and a couple other herbs I put in there. I'm not recommending anything, guys. I'm not a doctor. Let me just put that out there. This is what I did for myself, and I had miso soup, which is like an Asian soup, but it's just nothing but like tofu and a couple of little bit of seasoning, not too much.
Yeah.
I was doing that every day, and I had plenty of vegetables and salad. That was my diet for like 3-4 days, y'all. Let me just say, I lost weight.
You lost.
Okay, I lost weight, and it was the best feeling ever. I was starting to feel sick. And my husband was cracking up. He's like, girl, you got all those toxins trapped in you. And that's exactly what it was. Literally, that's exactly what it was.
Facts. Another thing with us, another problem we face is we overconsume cooked foods. Like it doesn't matter if something is good for you. Once you start putting heat to it, you're killing what's there. Nutrients, the aminos, they can't handle heat. So we need to get back to more raw eating. Oh, cooking everything, you're not getting nutrients you need.
Oh, that's a good point. I even forget about that too. So you like raw celery, strawberries, blueberries, strawberries. I already said strawberries. I like them. What else can we eat raw?
I mean, there's tons of. I mean, I mean, all your vegetables we know you can eat them raw.
Yeah.
But some of those you name like, everything you need to be careful how you get it. So some things that you name fall into what they call a dirty dozen. So they got much stuff sprayed onto them that you don't even want them in a fresh state.
Mm-hmm.
So better off consuming that frozen. That's what I would buy. Frozen organic. Me personally, I'm not recommending anybody to do anything. So, but frozen organic, that kind of takes you away from all of this that's in your face that you can't control.
Right.
Kind of limit what you getting. You know what I'm saying? You can't control all of it, but you can limit. They always said an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's a good point. Ooh, man. Listen, when y'all get done watching this Super Bowl, y'all need to come on over here and pay attention to what Mr. Wholistic is saying. This man is dropping some real golden gems. You're making me think.
Listen, it's time we start thinking like, like I said, we are in trouble.
Oh, yeah, and carrots. My husband's like, carrots can be eaten raw too. He's Mr. Bugs Bunny. That boy will pick up a carrot and start munching on that thing.
Carrots have their place. You know what I'm saying? Most of the vegetables have their place. It just depends on what's going on in a person's life. Yeah. I tell people all the time, it's not about perfection. It's about consistency. But if you are in trouble and you have a situation going on, then there's a certain way you should live. You don't have time to play.
Right.
Once you're situated, things in order, then you can play. It's nothing. You don't have to stay there, but you need to get everything working. I mean, if you're dealing with most people dealing with digestive issues, we already talked about that. So if you're dealing with digestive issues, we know you're dealing with absorption issues. So if you're dealing with absorption issues, you're dealing with being able to utilize what you supposed to been absorbed.
And they just linked several different types of chips to creating those kind of issues of absorption of nutrients too. And it was a bag that a lot of people used to consume back in like the late 90s. That's all I'm gonna say, because I know y'all out there watching me, and I know y'all ready to jump my inbox and say, if you say it, you gonna have to take the video down. Ha ha, I didn't say it, but
Yeah,
my people know what I'm talking about.
yeah, yeah. Listen, there's no telling what else linked to certain situations that we won't find out about until later.
Right. Just like how all the perms for black women have been linked to, disease. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
I'm telling you, because
Crazy.
everybody's looking for a way to do this, do that. They think this way is better. They're looking for a simpler way. You're trying to simplify things. But the facts are, if you just think back, like my big mama, she's 99 years old. So you got to think back when she was in her 20s. What was life like when she was in her 20s? What was she surrounded by? There wasn't I mean, and even me living with her, coming up on the weekends and stuff, we didn't always go to no store. That
Right.
was every once in a while thing. And
Mm-hmm.
everything we was getting, I was out there in the garden with her. So it was like fresh out the garden. She grew that. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It wasn't no meat every time you eat.
Right.
So
See, that's something that's good point. Because you know why? Especially in the South, a lot of us eat meat with every single meal that we have throughout the day.
yeah, and don't even realize the acidic level of it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And even back then in those days, there was no microwave.
Right.
There wasn't no quick fixes.
You know what my grandma would tell me every time I was like, I'm gonna put this in the mic. She's like, baby, put it on the stove. She said, you don't gotta go to the microwave every time. And I
So
still to this day I use that same approach. It's like, okay, if I can reheat this on the stove, I'm gonna do it, or in the oven versus me putting it in the microwave.
right,
And be
right.
careful with that microwave. That's a good point.
I'm telling you, like we want convenience, and
Look, meanwhile, when I was a kid, please, kids, if there's anybody watching this, this is not a show for kids, by the way. But listen, no, this is a disclaimer that I used to do this when I was a child. I don't do that anymore, and I do not advise any kids or adults to do this. But I used to take those little Starbursts, some I shouldn't have been eating, and I would put it while it's in the wrapper. Now I put it in the microwave and watch it melt, and then I would eat it. Most
oh,
dangerous thing I could have did. I
oh,
was turning up when I was a child. I'm just saying. I thank God for keeping me. You know what I'm
I-
saying?
we all gotta do that. We all gotta do that.
Yes.
We all done some stuff. So
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
and I love Starburst, but I never put them in the microwave.
Listen, I used to turn up on it. I was a little scientist. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. So, who would you say are some people who have influenced you on your health journey so far?
Dr. Sebi, or Sabi, however people would like to pronounce it, but he inspired me the most. That's where it began. Once I started once I found out about him and I started listening to him, I couldn't stop, and I felt like he was telling the truth. So with that began my journey, because I became a servant to the botanical kingdom. I couldn't turn the plants away, because once I got my first feel of them and taste of them, I fell in love with them, and I became a servant to them. I became a servant to my people, to everyone. That's what I am. I'm a servant, and I'm just out here trying to be obedient. Um, but Dr. Sabi definitely inspired me.
And
Um,
you have a video here. I'm gonna see if I can bring it in. Hopefully, it won't just play over us, but if it does, that's cool too. But that man there, he did some extraordinary things. Some things that I probably allegedly, I should say allegedly, he did some things
right, right,
that even a group of certified, licensed, and degreed individuals could not accomplish.
most
Right,
definitely, most definitely.
and all from Mother Earth, all from what the Most High provides us on
That's
a
right.
daily.
That's all you really need. You know what I'm saying? We got to but see, fear is used in this. So in so many things, there's fear placed inside the people to get to control. So once you stop fearing, then you can find that there's other ways to handle what need to be handled without what everybody tell you. See what I'm saying?
Absolutely, absolutely. I want to show people what you were cooking up, if you don't mind.
I don't mind at all.
Let me play it here.
Large percentage of calcium and magnesium. This is why I could fall on. Style is the answer to everything. A fresh way to approach a dull or dangerous thing. To do a dangerous thing with style is what I call art.
Listen, that healing pot of gumbo, I was like, slurp. I need some of that. Like,
Yeah,
what is this?
yeah, that right there has been awesome. People have been loving that, and I put it with that sea moss.
Mm-hmm.
So it is very nutritional. I'll say that. You know what I'm saying? Of course, I'm not no healthcare advisor, nothing like that. That's my disclaimer. But that is very nutritious.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have to go ahead and put my order in for that because I need that, especially with all this stuff flying around. And I mean, bad enough you got tree pollen, you got to worry about regular pollution from the plants.
Yeah.
I just found out last summer. Let me see. Yeah, it was last summer that one of the factories here in the South was producing over 60 million tons of like sulfuric acid,
Mm,
nitric oxide. And these are chemicals that don't do well on the lungs, right? And so
yeah.
this is information for anybody to research. Man, I was just like, wait a minute. So you mean to tell me all these communities that are close by are inhaling all these chemicals and don't even realize it?
Exactly. I mean, and that's where I was going with, talking about what's going on in the sky. So, we consuming it, we consuming things, we bathing and using water, and then we breathing. But I mean, if you just look at what's going on, some of the most worst troubles a person could have, I think the colon was number one at one while, and then I think it may have fell to number two behind the lungs. I actually lost someone dear to me last year due to lung troubles. You see what I'm saying?
Sorry about that. Yeah.
And that really have motivated me not to I can't be easy with people. Like if somebody come to me with a problem and they in trouble, before I was kind of like trying to be understanding of who they are and what they want to do. But now I'm more like, now if you come to me, this is what I expect.
Right.
And that's how we got to work this
Mm-hmm.
because we don't have time to play.
Facts. I heard you say that too behind the scenes, and I can hear that sense of urgency. And you spot on. You don't. You don't have time to play because you really don't know at this point how much damage you caused.
You
So,
don't.
so yeah.
You don't.
Trust me, we've all been there, and I would like for people who are on this live today to just send out prayers to one of my close friends, Shayna Watson, who's currently getting through and pushing through, and we're just praying for the best out of this situation. But tapping back into what we're saying here, people, there's a lot going on. Okay, there's a lot of external factors at play, but what's most important is just being able to control what you can't control.
Exactly. Exactly. And
Yeah, mhm.
what I see is most problems are hand to mouth issues. So it's right, like I said, it's right on your nose. It's the mouth, what you consuming. It is not only affecting your physical health, but it's affecting your mental health. Um, it's affecting everything. It's affecting relationships because if you married, you in a relationship, you and your significant other. If you're not feeling good, and let's just say they didn't wash some dishes or something, you're more prone to be negative or to have an attitude about that because of how you're feeling.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? So this play a part in everything. Like,
Definitely. That's actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you. Like, do you believe that a holistic dieting approach, reducing meat, going more towards consuming plant-based meals, do you think that's more of a positive effect on your mental health?
Oh, most definitely. That is a 100% a more positive effect. Because acid foods, acid thoughts.
Mm.
See what I'm saying?
Got it. Mm-hmm.
Acid emotions.
That's now the emotions I can attest.
You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah, you become a little more feisty when you're consuming a more meat. I noticed that about my own emotions.
exactly. So
Like I become a savage.
I'm telling you, everything has to do. People can argue and say, well, there's some hormonal issues or there's some lack of chemical problems and how things are transpiring. But at the end of the day, when you look at why something isn't where it needs to be,
Right.
if your hormones are not producing like they supposed to, well, why aren't they?
Mm.
See what I'm saying? And what
Yeah, absolutely.
we want to take the hormone, but why not look at why your body is deficient in the
Yeah,
hormone?
right.
So if you fix why you're deficient in the hormone, then you don't have to take it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Right on. You better preach. That's facts. And but we so quick to give up. We don't want to take the hard route. And it's not even hard, really. It's just educating yourself on what's wrong with you and then finding out, okay, what fruits and vegetables and other meals that I can consume that's gonna give me back what I've lost due to my poor choices, right? In dieting. But that's you listen, huh? I feel like you answering my question spot on. Sorry, you see my little.
No, you fine. But what people understand is health is their responsibility. You are responsible for your own health. And so many people are putting health into the hands of somebody that can't help them.
That is literally doing a practice. That is why it's called practice.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? So it's just wild, but I know for a fact it's the reason why we do it is because we're just not thinking. We're not thinking. And that is the reason why I created this show is to promote clear thinking on every level of your life, whether it's health, finances, relationships. You gotta start thinking, man. Like you're frustrated, you're angry, you're emotional because you're not thinking your situation through. You're not thinking about, like you said, what you're putting in your mouth. You're
Right.
not thinking through about the external factors. You're not thinking about your body. You're not thinking about like when I'm depleted, why do I feel depleted?
Right.
When I feel like I'm low on energy or I'm cranky, you got to ask yourself these questions. Why do I feel that way? Well, what did I do yesterday? What did I eat? Who's I around? All that kind of stuff. But we don't
Yeah.
really take that time to think. You know why? We on social media.
Yeah.
We worried about celebrity
Yeah.
gossip.
Yeah.
We worried about somebody else's business, like instead of our own.
Those, all of this. So, and there's a certain thing like they already know. They got statistics that can pretty much say what we're gonna do. That's why certain things you see pop up on your phone like it does. So all of that is predictive programming, and it goes all the way into what we eat. A lot of times, what you decide to eat has something to do with what you may have saw while you was watching your show.
Facts.
Oh, that dudes look good. That sounds good. Oh, I think I'm gonna eat
It's enticing. It's enticing. I'm not gonna lie. Like I could be not even thinking about food, and then I'm scrolling down and I see Kimmy Creations. She's one of those popular food chefs. Actually, she's a popular chef now, breaking into all the social media platforms. And man, when I tell you she fried up that chicken, and it's funny because as a kid I never ate anything fried, but as an adult I crave it, and I said, man, I gotta stop that. I actually put a stop to that myself. But it's funny. But anyway, and shout out to her because she does her thing. And she's even attempted to make vegan meals because she understands the importance of health and how
yeah,
we can see things and we want it, right?
yeah,
No matter how unhealthy it is. So I appreciate people like you and her that are consciously aware that, okay, I'm in front of the public eye, so I need to make sure that I give healthy alternatives to everything that I'm doing because
right.
people are by nature, they're followers, and when they see things, it entices them to want it.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I get that. And also you gotta think too, like just because I know a lot of people have gone vegan, but there's a lot of vegans that's not healthy.
You better preach. I was just talking about that.
So I mean, you even gotta look at what you're doing when you go vegan.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds good. You know what I'm saying? And it might be in the, you know, you might be fit in that crowd when you say, well, I'm vegan now, you know, but are you healthy? You see
Right.
what
Oh yeah, I know exactly what you're
I
saying.
mean?
Without having to touch on the on the direct response to that, I know exactly what you mean. Um, that's a good point because a lot of people feel like if they just in that class or that category, they're good, they're healthy. That's
Right.
not the case because everybody's body works differently. That's what we
Exactly.
got to think about too. Like your body might be able to take dairy, mine can't. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like your body might be able to eat beets. Maybe I can. Maybe I'm allergic to it. I better not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like you just don't know. And just because you cut out meat doesn't mean you haven't added unnecessary trans fatty acids to your diet. You know, as a replacement of. And then also some of this. I've noticed some of these. And it's not to cast anybody down on anybody brands or products, and I won't even name those. But like you know how they do the artificial meats.
Yeah.
Sometimes you got to think about all the chemicals that went into that
Exactly.
artificial meat to create it and make it taste like the real thing. You're not thinking about all the chemicals you just unnecessary chemicals too that you just put into your
Right.
body.
Yeah.
I'm just saying things that make sense. That's a teddy bear, y'all. So you want y'all to see.
That makes sense. And that's just not with the meat. That's with all of the foods. We don't know what we're eating in a lot of things.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We don't really know what's what. So you really need to eat off the ingredient label. And if it's got too many ingredients, then you probably shouldn't eat
I agree. If that list is too long, I'm
it.
a I'm gonna go ahead and say next. And you know what's crazy? I had picked up. I was looking at some waffles because you know kids like waffles and stuff like that. And I flipped the box over, and it literally said, based on the state of California,
Mmm.
this product has been known
Mmm.
to create,
Isn't that something?
and it's fully stocked.
Mm-hmm.
People are buying it. I put it back. I was like, "What now? Why would I? Why would I'm being serious right now, people? Y'all better start reading and then comprehending what you just read.
Mm-hmm.
Because why on earth would I go buy something for my little one that has been scientifically proven to cause that?
Right. Right.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I don't even see how it's. I don't see how it's lawful to even still sell it. I'm gonna just put it out there.
Well, I can see that about a lot of things, but again, we have no control over that. The chances of us having control over that, who knows? But I doubt it. I don't see it.
And have you noticed that most of the anything that you buy boxed, right? Bioengineering is attached to it.
No, I haven't noticed because I don't shop like that
You
though.
don't buy that, right? But for people that are listening to this show, I'm saying that for a reason.
Yeah,
Flip it over on the back.
yeah.
I read everything because there's certain things I can consume and certain things I cannot, and I will not. So I'm always reading the labels. It's so important. Some things in that are boxed or unboxed, some cases, have milk in it, but from the exterior, you would not know that
Yeah,
unless you read the ingredients.
right. There's a lot of things and a lot of things like a lot of
Yeah, it
things
is.
that is advertised to do certain stuff got a lot of things in it that you don't need. You actually do more harm to your children by allowing them to consume that.
And I'm thinking to myself, this no offense to people who like to drink cow's milk, but here's my question I've always had. Why on earth are we the only beings that consume another animal's milk?
True. And I used to be
Have you noticed that? Like, it's weird, right?
I don't know, but I grew up a milk drinker.
Mm-hmm.
I was a
Most of
heavy,
us did. Most of us did.
I was a heavy milk drinker. And my mom, she worked at the hospital. She was a supervisor. And a lot of times I can look back on this now and just understand it. But I dealt with constipation a lot when I was a child. I
Mm-hmm.
also dealt with skin, acne, and pimples and stuff a lot when I was a child. Um, but and I also was advertised to a lot about dairy products as a child. So in my mindset as a child, I'm thinking, okay, I see the commercials, the cow Elsie coming to the school.
Facts.
They telling us how we're gonna get our bones strong.
Look at me. Lies. All these lies.
So I'm like, man, look, I want the strongest bone I can have. So I
And
need
in the meantime, what is it doing to you? It's creating craters on your face. Your body's trying to push it out, and you
that,
don't even realize it.
it's actually weakening your bone structure. It's causing a lot of issues, more serious than that. Um, but yeah,
Yeah, far more critically. Yeah, seriously. And
yeah,
that's the thing. Oh man, we gotta have another one of these shows for real, because it's just it's a lot. It's a lot of information that needs to be broken down in a way that it can be really understood. You know,
right, yeah,
because what you see is not always what you get. Kind
that's
of like what we just said, and it matters what goes inside, and it matters what's happening on a cellular level. And I know it's hard for a lot of people to, to see it that way, but you have to understand when you eat things that don't make you feel good, stop eating it.
right.
You know what I'm
That's
saying? It's just that simple.
that's your body talking to you. And I've always said this. I've been saying it for years. Food is for purpose. It's not for pleasure. And
Mm-hmm.
we looking for pleasure.
We
But
running around here diving in pleasure. I ain't gonna lie.
once we start eating for purpose, we'll see a change. I
Mm-hmm.
see so many people, and I think it's great. And they make posts about healing the land. And how can we fix something doing the same thing?
Right.
You see what I'm
And yeah, I 100% see. I 100% see what you're saying. And it is almost devastating too, to some degree, when I see we get caught up in this comfortable pattern of destruction. And then,
saying? Yeah,
on top of that, you said something earlier in the show that really stuck with me, because I thought I was the only one that was paying attention. So many trees have been taken down for communities to be built, and I'm like, what happens when we reach that last tree,
right.
that last nursery of woods,
Exactly.
forest, or whatever? Like, people, I mean, do people not realize what trees do for us?
No, that a lot of people don't realize a lot of things because they got us distracted. We
They
too,
have us in this, how can I
yeah.
say, it's like a Sims environment. Have you ever played Sims
I've never
or
played.
seen it?
Talking about,
And it's like we also focus on a digital world that we forgetting
yeah,
about reality.
right,
This is
right.
our reality right now, and we're ignoring it.
It's. I think about it all the time. Like I see people all the time. Like they car clean. You see what I'm saying? They car clean, looking good. They dress. They get out. They hair done, nail done, fresh fades, and locks twisted, and fresh braids, and
A
you
line on point,
point.
crisp line, yeah.
And they're in the drive-through, get them eating off the dollar menu.
I ain't gonna lie. One of my real best close friends had to tell me when I was in my early 20s. Every time I was on the phone with her, no lie, I was like, "Yeah, let me get a number one. All right, with a Sprite." She was like, "Damn, if you don't get out of that drive-through line and go home and cook,
I'm
right?"
telling you.
And that's why I'm glad I married somebody that I hate to say this, but not from the country that I'm from, because
Yeah,
he grew up like literally garden.
yeah,
Yeah, like that's all they had to depend on to live, literally. So everything from the earth, that he
yeah,
consumed. So when he got here, he's like, "Nah, we're not going out to eat." And I was like, "Excuse me?
yeah,
Nah, we not, because we got groceries and we're gonna cook them, and I'm gonna show you how to prepare this, and this." I ain't never had that before. So it was enlightening, and it really was life-saving, because I don't know what I could have developed over time had
most
I
de-
stayed the course of
most,
destruction.
and that's what happens. People stay the course, never think like that, and then one day it's a knock on the door, and then they frantic and don't know what to do, and
Yeah.
then what you've been doing got you here. Then out of fear and other situations, things you hearing, then you let somebody else control what you do, and
Right.
you got a compound problem.
Facts. I mean, I feel like what you saying is so, so, so true. Like, we gotta stop letting people implant too the wrong information. And
Right.
we first gotta know, like, we gotta understand what our structure is. Like, like we have to get a structure in our life. We can't just let external factors like pretty much push us in the wrong direction of health
Exactly.
or mental illness or whatever your situation that you're dealing with. You really got to learn how to be in control of your own life, really be in
Yeah.
control of your own dynamic. Because I remember when I was in corporate America, I would sit with people that eat lunch, and certain people, not me per se, because and sometimes I'll go out to eat, sometimes I bring food home. But there was those certain people who consistently ate from the house. And it wasn't because they didn't have enough money, because we all were getting paid very well. It's because they were controlling their own
Right.
dynamic, their own path. And
That's
they
right.
knew they needed to stay the course because they wanted to see the results. Like, for instance, there was one chick, shout out to Crystal, she would drink a green smoothie every day before lunch.
Mhm.
And that's it. Like,
Yeah.
she would have maybe I don't know if she ate egg. I can't remember what she said she would eat in the morning, but she would have something light in the morning. Then she would have her green smoothie. She may have dinner, she might not. And I said, how in the world are you like me being a carnivore that I
Yeah.
am, how are you functioning off of one green smoothie? So what I did, because I wanted to do a cleanse, I gave it a try. I was like, let me see if I can have something light in the morning. I'm gonna bring my smoothie in for work. And then I might have dinner. I always had dinner. Keep that in mind, because I my system ain't like hers. I need that protein and veggies. At least I think I do. At least I think I
There
do.
you, now you say you think
Yeah, but it worked for me, and I dropped I dropped a significant amount of weight. I started doing the stairs because we had 17 floors in our building. So after I had my smoothie, I would sit and talk to people for a while and let it digest. Then I would do the stairs, 17 flights up, 17 flights down. Then I go back to work, and I stayed busy. That's how I kept my mind off of wanting to eat more food, because it really
right.
was just a mental thing.
Well, see, you got to think that green smoothie is loaded with amino acids and fiber. So not only is it filling you up, it's nourishing your body at the same time.
Yep.
So people consume all this other food that's nothing. Um,
Right.
thing, you know what
And
I'm
that's
saying?
why they still be hungry after eating a burger and fries.
Exactly. You
Yeah.
killing everything that connects and work with each other to let you know, like, we good right now. So you
Mhm.
still feel like I need more. You know?
Right. And then also the chemicals too in it will make you it makes you addicted, to whatever it is that you're
Yeah,
consuming. I noticed that.
most
Mhm.
definitely. They've been playing around with the MSGs and different little things in the food to
Yep.
they know what we like. Sugar and salt. Um, that's where the taste is. That's where the flavor is. That's why
Mhm.
we have a hard time eating the way most people tell me this is too hard to do this, and I'm like, you just not used to it. You have to
Right.
try it.
We're spoiled. That's the best
Yeah,
way you can put it. We are rotten. We're
yeah,
spoiled, and we're used to just doing what we want to do and feeling
exactly.
the way we want to feel. But here's a good thing about eating healthy that I noticed. So if I know I've eaten some things I should not eat that day, and I'm feeling low on energy as a result, because if you pay attention to your body, you will feel the regression
Yeah,
immediately. You really
definitely.
will. And I said, okay, I already know what I need to do. I'll blend up some vegetables, put some ice in there, blend it up, start drinking it. Almost immediately, your body feels so. I can't explain what I'm trying to say here, but my body just feels like an upgrade. Like, I just feel like my mood changed. I'm elevated. I feel good. That's the best
Yeah,
way I can say it. And
yeah.
you feel it in real time. I was like, man, the body is amazing.
It is. It really is. It is amazing, and we know that there's got to be a higher power because you can't understand it and the way it works. Like, nobody can understand it, nobody can figure it out, and nobody can duplicate that. So,
Absolutely.
um,
Absolutely. I
yeah,
give praises to the Most High each and every day.
got to.
Let me ask you one more question here. So, this is the last question, by the way. I know we've been going for almost an hour strong, but it's such a good, nourishing conversation that needs to be had for us, for me included, in the community. Like, we need to have more of this kind of dialogue. But I want to go into more specifically into women's health. Because there are a lot of changes that are happening in the body because of stress. People are losing their jobs. People are under stress because maybe they have too many jobs.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
Maybe people are getting divorces or they can't
yeah.
find love. There's so many different things going on. But anyways, what I wanted to ask you is, what are some ways that a holistic approach can reduce menstrual issues, not just cramps, but whatever Some people deal with cysts. Some people deal with extreme cramping. Some people don't have their cycles on time. And again, we're not doctors for the audience that is looking. We're just wanting to know from your experience with the people that you've had, how has eating healthier and more holistically changed their menstrual issues?
Well, off the top, I'm gonna say this eating healthy, there has to be a change, and that change is going to come very, very quickly, because the reason that women deal with those issues anyway, again, we're under that same acidic sky. So as long as you're under that acidic sky, you can expect those type of things to happen. The cysts, the odor, the discharge, they have to happen because your body is too acidic. So once you clean up your eating, and it's got to be it's not just cleaning up your eating. You got to go to the right foods. You need foods that's going to clean the mucosa. You need astringent foods. And the more of those you consume, not only do they go in your body and give your body nourishment, but they clean your body. Then you got to think about the glands that you're affecting with these acids. So we know you got some glands that's down and not functioning like they should. That's where the herbs come in. You eat that type of diet, and then you take a herbal protocol, and then you start seeing a change in your whatever's going on. It doesn't matter, because you can say vaginal issues, but this whole system is systemic, so it's head to toe. So something going on in the vaginal area, there's probably something going on in the brain. So you can't, it's just where it show up at that moment.
And then you have to remember, for females, that's the place where everything is excreted, all toxins, all waste, and we got to think about that too.
Your largest lymphatic ports are under your arms and in your groin area. So that's where you're going to sweat out the most toxins anyway, if your body is heating up to the proper body temperature to sweat properly. So you got to take in consideration, or is everything functioning right for you to sweat properly?
Right.
How is your kidneys working? Do you got proper good kidney filtration? So there again,
I have noticed that it's and I'm not proving anything statistically, but just in my own experience, a lot of Black people suffer from kidney failure, from what I've witnessed growing up.
From what I've witnessed, and that's another reason why I put together the 21-day protocol. From what I've witnessed, everybody's in kidney failure at some level or another. And if you just ever go to a dialysis and just watch the people going in and out of there getting dialysis treatment, they overfilled. They steadily building and putting new ones up.
Yeah. Wow.
There again, why? What is causing the problem where people are needing to go on dialysis? Nobody's looking at that and addressing that.
Right. But you know what? They're not going to. That's the reason why we individually have to.
Yeah.
Right. That's why we have people like you, so that you can guide them. And speaking on that, I really would like for you to let us know, like, where we can find information to literally inbox you to buy these, healing gumbos, to buy these herbs, or connect us, because our community needs this information bad.
I did, a lot of people, I have made a lot of great friends. A lot of people have reached out to me because I do phone consultations as well. And I have made a lot of great friends in Florida, Indiana, Texas. They've all been taking different things. They've all had excellent results. Simply send me a message, inbox me. I have a list of messages, and I try to go down the list one by one and get to everybody. My website will be coming this year for sure.
Congratulations.
So, and until then, you can email me at cedricbanks@gmail.com. I respond to my emails. And you can always shoot me a message. And, I talk to people. That's how I made family. I made family because people have messaged me with situations going on, and our messages led to phone consultations, which led to
Look,
other.
and shouting you out. She said, "My herbalist, amen."
So
This man is a bowl of knowledge. I'm
that's
telling you,
Florida, most definitely. Yeah. So
definitely. And share this video with everyone that you know. This man was dropping serious gems on the show today. I'm telling you, you were. I mean, you. This is why I always say this is kind of slightly off topic that a man brings logic into the home. A man, not a boy, a
yeah,
man.
yeah.
And you are a man that brings knowledge, right, to the community. And says, I love him. He changed me. Oh, amen. Look at you doing God's work. You should be proud of yourself.
That's a blessing. It's a blessing. And those kind of testimonies, I mean, they're priceless.
Mm-hmm.
They are priceless. You know what I'm saying? And every time I get a message or I get a phone call, I just be like so thankful, so humble, so so grateful that
Mm-hmm.
somebody like me, you know what I'm saying, was chosen
Yes.
to live this lifestyle, to do this. I've always been a people person. I always love people. My love and my compassion for people is what allowed me to be chosen. You know what I'm saying? So um, I'm thankful. I'm truly thankful. You know, there's no
Mm-hmm.
words that can sum it up. It's such a blessing.
Absolutely. I know you're feeling. Listen, I'm so grateful to know you. And you know I'm gonna be having you back on the show because
Please do, please do.
there's so much information that you bring, and there's so much that else that we need to expand on. You know, we could spend a whole week. We could spend an entire week talking
And
about this. And maybe one of these months we can do a marathon, and
yeah,
that way, and it of course would be like, after you get your website or just your point of contact in general up and you feel comfortable, because it's gonna be a lot of people coming at you. That's what so you gotta be ready. So
I,
I think it's necessary. It's necessary.
it's been a lot of great works being done. My name has really started ringing bells in a lot of places. I get more and more people contacting me on a daily basis. I'm truly thankful. I try my best to accommodate and serve every person. Some are in more serious trouble than others, so I definitely put them higher on the list. But I'm here for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I'm a servant. Everybody is my brothers, my sisters. It doesn't matter what race you are, what you believe in, where you're from. I love you. And that's why I'm in this position.
Most definitely. We thank you so much on my Sisters Talk platform because our community, as well as many others, are suffering. Everybody is suffering with some type of ailment that
Yeah.
we may or may not be aware of. And like you said, you were preaching really today. You were just like, listen, a lot of our problems are caused because of what we're intaking. And
Yeah.
we don't stop and think about that. So you really gave me personally, as you did the last time, a lot to think about. And I've obviously ran into some more hiccups, like I said, with the cookies. But that's what I get for eating chocolate chip cookies. It is what it is, though. We live. Well,
It's
I live through trial and error. And I'm learning, and
yeah.
I encourage everybody else to do the same. Nobody's perfect, but if you are consuming something that makes you feel bad, then you most definitely need to stop consuming it, and then you need to find alternatives. And then you have somebody like Mr. Holistic who will be able to get you right on track. He'll be able to get with you, assess you, and find out what works for your body.
Right. Definitely. Most definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And don't never be hard on yourself. You know, you alive, so live. Just understand, don't stay there. See what I'm saying? Just understand it's fine to jump off the porch and do some things, but get back on the porch. Don't stay out there.
Exactly.
And you'll be all right. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Now, on my show, I'm always talking about the Black community because, baby, it's Black History Month. But as Mr. Banks said, this information applies to all races, all cultures, all religions. I encompass everyone. Unity is my go-to. Self-love, self-care. That's what I preach all the time. But my people know. I'm talking to my Black people now. We have a long road ahead of us. Like you said earlier in the show, we are one of the cultures that we just do not resort to natural eating as much as we used to.
At
And
all.
a lot of us wouldn't know how to start a garden if we wanted to. With
Right.
all this information and technology out here, YouTube and all, like, because we're not taking out the time and we're not focusing on what matters. So, all I encourage my people to do that's watching this show or who will watch it after Super Bowl, please, guys, start thinking. Because after all, life is not just life. You have to strategize through life to make life the best that you can make it and for you to live your life to the fullest. And I know for me, I want to see my great grandkids if the
Right.
Most High allows me to. But I know I ain't gonna make it if
And
I
we
keep on eating those wings, in which I have reduced. But and many other things too, So I have to, as well as many others, we have to be accountable.
yeah.
We have to be disciplined.
Health is our responsibility. And when I in master, I never really thought much about doing any gardening, but part of my schooling was we had to make a compost and we had to grow some stuff. So I got my hands on in there. I actually have some stuff out in the garage now where I'm doing the compost, and any old vegetables and stuff like that I throw in my compost to keep my soil right. There's a guy on TikTok that he always gardening. The Pure Life guy, shout out to him. He will teach you some stuff about some gardening. That guy right there is amazing.
Nice. I appreciate you too for connecting us with people that we don't even, as a collective know yet. But I know with time we're gonna hear more and more about these individuals. So I'm just grateful, like I said, to even have ran across your page on Facebook many moons ago. And I was like, wow, this is what we need. We need you in the community for sure. And I'm praying for bigger, larger platforms for you here in this year, starting in this year, moving forward, because your kind of knowledge is what's needed to save lives. And so, with that being said, I'm not going to hold you much longer because I know you want to get ready to watch the game, I'm sure. But I want to thank you.
Most definitely. Most definitely. Thank you again for having me on. I love what you do. I'm extremely thankful and grateful for this time on your platform. I appreciate it so much.
Thank you. All right, guys. So, look, we're wrapping up another great episode. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the YouTube channel. Guys, Mr. Wholistic gave us so much knowledge. I just don't even know what to say. It's just he always leaves me like this because he tells the truth, he doesn't hold back, and he keeps us accountable, guys. So make sure you subscribe. The information is down below. And again, I want to thank you guys for tuning into the Sisters Talk podcast. I'll see you next Sunday with another guest on, Mr. James. We're going to be talking about backwards behavior. You see how that's all in sync? Abundant living, backwards behavior. You got to correct it so that you can live abundantly. With that being said, guys, who do you think is going to win on the Super Bowl?
Whoever wins doesn't really matter to me. I really don't know, but I know what I do need to win. You see what I'm saying?
I got you.
yeah, that's what I need.
I got you. I feel you on that too. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We'll see you on next Sunday at 3 p.m. Central Standard Time. Bye, guys.